The Man from Snowy River is a poem that pretty much every Australian knows or has at least heard of. It's such a great poem that stirs up plenty of feelings for me, and this week we're going to be exploring the very area that Banjo Patterson got his inspiration from. And we're also hoping to catch a glimpse of some wild brumbies for ourselves. Jess is still riding shotgun for this one, and Rico's behind the wheel of the X-Class as we explore just a few of the great tracks in the Snowy Mountains National Park.
Alright guys, the hunt begins. Let's see if we can find some of these brumbies, eh? I'm really keen to see if we can get some photos.
Yeah, last time I was down here we saw plenty, so I'm hoping that we can give Jess the experience that New South Wales is all about.
Well, this is the place to do it, isn't it? The Kosciuszko National Park just opened up after the winter break, so if they're going to be around looking for a bit of a feed, I reckon this is the time of year to do it.
I'm excited. They should be pretty fat and shiny and healthy.
Yeah, enough about me. What about those horses?
I don't know, shiny and healthy.
Yeah, they've got their winter coat on though. You got a bald head.
So Jess, first time into Kosciuszko National Park for you?
Yes.
What does this look like so far compared to what you're used to?
Well, there's lots of trees.
Yes.
And it's so green. It's absolutely stunning. I did not expect it to be amazing.
You didn't expect New South Wales to be any
so
good?
green. As bad as that sounds, no, I didn't. I travel a lot and I see some amazing country, but this is just so different but equally stunning.
When you're planning your own alpine adventure, it pays to know that a lot of these tracks are closed for the winter. When you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. We're well above the snow line here, and the amount of damage that vehicles could cause when they come through this area when it's at its sloppiest would be irreparable. It really would.
We are travelling this area in November, so only a few weeks after the tracks have been opened after winter, which sometimes means you can run into a few challenges along the way.
Bit of a tree on the track here.
That actually looks like quite a big one.
Yeah, I think what we might have to do is I'm going to pull over as far to the right as I can. I'll get you to go around me and we'll see if we can use your winch to see if we can get, as much of it off the road as we can.
So something that's really important in national parks is that you can't actually use a chainsaw. So we've actually come along a log on the track and we need to obviously get that off to get through. So we're doing a redirection winch line, which is going to actually pull that tree off the track. We're going to be able to go past, and it's also going to be good for anyone else coming along this track in the future. All right, everyone's clear?
This is a pretty simple recovery overall. We're using a pulley block up on the tree near Rico and redirecting the winch line down to the tree, which Jess has secured with a tree trunk protector. As we winch, it will slowly drag the tree off the side of the track to make it safe to pass.
Yep.
With that sorted, it's time to get moving and get ourselves out to Long Plain, but not before finding a little bit of water to clean off the four-wheel drives. Long Plain is a beautiful place, and I think Jess is much happier being out of the trees.
So Jess, you liking that there's not so many trees out here?
Yes, this is more my sort of deal.
It's very, very gorgeous having the trees though that we'll get to on the other side. And you go through these areas where it's just covered in trees, and then you come out to this area and it's just absolutely stunning, isn't it?
Oh, it's beautiful and so much more green than what I'm used to.
Well, hopefully we see some brumbies.
Long Plain is also where the beautiful Murrumbidgee River begins. This river snakes its way south for over 60 kilometres until it hits the Murray River, making it the second longest river in the country. It's not long though before we sight our first brumbies making their way across the plains.
Hey, there's a couple over here, Liz. Check these out to the left. Oh, there's a little baby foal there too.
Oh, that's tiny.
How cool is that?
Jess reckons that little one's about 2 or 3 days old.
We have to get out and take a closer look. Rico's got the camera, and this might just be the perfect chance for him to get his Brumby photo for the wall.
So you can tell by the way of looking at Mum and the foal, it's probably only about 3 days old. So Mum's being a pretty good mum, pretty protective. And she's walking nice and slow for the foal who isn't exactly got his legs yet. So this will be the first time this foal has ever seen people.
This is an amazing experience. These Brumbies are confident and happy for us to get pretty close. It's important to remember though, these are wild animals, and although they are horses, they are not trained, which means you need to be prepared for anything. They are a majestic creature though, and it looks like Rico got that photo. Our destination for camp tonight is the Blue Waterhole. But to get there, we have to travel along pretty much the whole length of Long Plain, which means plenty more opportunities to spot Brumbies, and they're out in numbers. The Alpine Brumby has recently been protected in the Kosciuszko National Park, and it's a pretty controversial topic, as there's estimated to be over 6,000 in the park alone. Some say this number of horses will damage the environment long term unless they are properly managed. What it does mean, however, is that right now you are pretty much guaranteed to be able to observe these majestic creatures roaming the plains. Just before hitting the homestead though, Rico found something that he thought was pretty special.
Even an authority as well respected as the National Parks and Wildlife know a champion vehicle when they see one. Have a look at this.
Oh wow, it's a larder. Why not an LJ Parks? Come on. We all know they're a much more reliable four-wheel drive.
I don't have to build these huts so far away from the road.
Yeah.
I don't know, I've got a figure to make.
Mine Homestead is one of many high country huts, but this one's a little bit different in that it comprises 3 architecturally unique styles of building constructed at different times during the late 1800s. The first of those buildings was established by Stuart Mao, overseer to Terence Murray, who was the owner of the land that the Australian Government House now sits on in Canberra. The original hut was used for grazing, while the log cheese house was built in 1889, followed by the main house in the 1890s. Make sure you check out some of the old newspaper clippings on the wall to get a glimpse into the past. Camp tonight is a beautiful campsite right near the Blue Waterhole, which we're going to check out in the morning.
So one of the things that was really important to me when we started season 5 was that I wanted to have something that I was going to have a good night's sleep in. Now there were a few options that were on the table, and rooftop tent was what I went with, but I also customised it a little bit. Now up there I've actually got some USB ports where I can charge my phone. I've also got a light up there that basically when I get in, I can see everything that I'm doing. I've got 240 as well that's just outside the tent. It's been put onto the roof. I can actually have an electric blanket, and I know that a lot of people laugh at that. I do have a few of those customised things up there, and it really does make it a home away from home.
The camp is regularly frequented by Brumbies. As soon as that fire is lit, the Brumbies come for a closer look. It really is special. It was a good night around camp last night, and this morning it's time to check out the Blue Waterholes.
I wonder how deep it is.
Well, Rick, it's really
Rico, you want to find it?
During the summer, this is a great spot to come for a swim, and there are a number of great walking tracks that all start here. This area is really quite unique and different to the rest of the park, with rocky gorges and even caves to explore. It's even a great spot for the less adventurous to sit and ponder the meaning of life, or whatever actually goes on in Rico's head.